You would be better off just making yourself a nice sandwich for the day.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Somewhere between science and superstition.
We have such sights to show you.
Strange Eons. Welcome to Strange Eons Radio. That is Eric over there.
Hello.
That is Vanessa over there.
Hello.
And I am Kelly. I wanted to talk today about a guy who listens to this show. We know him as Real Badger on YouTube. Yep. Always makes comments and reaches out to us and stuff. And he has occasionally sent me things on Instagram and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, I don't really know him, but I like him. Mm-hmm. And he sent me a post this morning that made me go, and it was a post of a woman. It was video cameraed from like her camera in her house or whatever. And she was kind of blessing her house. And she was saying, you know, she was obviously reading off something like she'd been told, this is what you do if you have spirits in the house. And shit started happening. And she started to get freaked out. Like, so she's in her kitchen and she's saying, you know, you're not allowed in this place. Please find yourself out of this house. And then like this pot goes flying off of the stove and she's like, ah! And so she's talking faster. And then like the cutting board goes flying at her and she just runs out. And I watched it about 4 times and I was like, man, I don't see any wires here. I don't see anything. And so I just said, that's pretty creepy. This guy's name is Jeffrey Gould. Mm-hmm. And I said, Jeff, do you believe in ghosts and spirits or anything like that? And he said, oh, absolutely. And he then sends me a link to his own paranormal site and his own experiences in the paranormal.
Oh, shit.
And I kind of wanted to share that with everybody because it's pretty interesting stuff. And as you know, I'm a skeptic, but I'm not like I don't believe. I'm just a skeptic.
The good old Mulder thing.
I'd like something.
To believe, yes.
And that's funny because, Eric, you know that I have had a wild experience, and I should not be as skeptical as I am. Anyway, Jeff's name is the name of his website, and he spells his name incorrectly. It's Geoff is Jeff, Geoff Gould, Gould.
And his name's not Joff?
It's
like Joffrey? It's Jeff. Sorry, I'm just asking because I want to make sure.
I'm going to assume he pronounces it the American way. That is spelled
Joffrey. Geoffrey. Joffrey. I'm just saying.
Joffrey, if that's the way you spell your name, you can chime in.
Let us know so we don't.
But it's jeffgould.net. So GEOFFGOULD.net/paranormal, because he's also an actor, been in commercials. I mean, you'll be watching a movie and you'll be like, wait a second, that's that guy in the background and shit like that. So
do you remember we met him a long, long time ago?
I feel like maybe at the Lovecraft Film Festival?
Yep, at the Lovecraft Festival. I think it was the year our film screened. Featured. And I've got a picture with him somewhere.
Yeah, he's just a real interesting cat.
Yeah.
Does all this stuff. But then when he sent me this link, I was like, I said, do you mind if I mention this on the show? And he was like, go ahead, enjoy.
I didn't know that either. I've a lot of stuff from him as well, but I was not aware of that.
I'll shoot you the link.
Cool.
It was pretty interesting. I'll also shoot you the video he sent me, and you guys can kind of make up your own minds.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love this stuff. So
the woman's reaction, that's what sells all of these kind of videos, right?
Yeah.
And she seems very upset.
There's this TikTok series, and I know it's like BS, but it's this guy and his girlfriend or his wife or whatever, and it's just like this one camera setup, kind of shitty placement, and they just have a ghost they live with. So they'll be like talking, and then all of a sudden something will move, and they have like named it. I don't know if it's like Harriet or whatever, and they're like, Harriet, Jesus fucking Christ, and they'll like go back to doing it. And because it's so nonchalant and the way that they're dealing with their particular ghost, you're like, all right, like, I don't know, like it makes me want to believe it more. So,
well, I mean, you know, there's, you know, we see in a spectrum that is pretty limited. So we know
Yeah.
cats, dogs see things that we don't see. That's always lovely to
that's
I
creepy
know.
as
them
hell.
staring into a corner.
Horrible.
So I know that there's things,
Yeah.
but whether it's the spirits of our long lost loved, I don't know if I believe any of that stuff.
I
So,
still really think it's an interdimensional thing, and they're just other people in dimensions that are bleeding over, like bumping into our shit and being like, wait, that was weird. Why did I trip up on this thing that's not there? Or,
right, because otherwise you have to sit there and think, wait a second, is this angry spirit just in my kitchen all the time? And
especially like you've got a new house and you're like,
Knives.
why? When did you get here? Like, did you come with an object or did you die here? Like, what? Were you in a field and had a heart attack before this house existed?
Well.
And now you're stuck in my kitchen or my pantry or what? Like, what the? Yeah, how does the logic work?
My dad, who is a full Haida Indian, his favorite thing to laugh about is the ancient Indian burial ground trope.
Sure.
And he's just like, Kelly, the entire world is an ancient Indian burial ground if you go back far enough. And so many people have
fair
died
point.
in every part of this that,
Yeah.
of course, the world is haunted. And I was like, oh, that's a comforting thought. Thanks, Dad. I'm 9 years old and going to bed.
Maybe they're all like cavemen. Maybe they would just have all these like really ancient people who are just like, fucking light? What? No, it's dark. Demon. Ugh.
Well, yeah, because then I'm just like, what's going on in this lady's kitchen?
Right.
The guy threw a pot at her. Was it just, don't tell me to get out of here? Or was it, I am offended by your cooking?
The
Indeed.
ghost of some chef or star chef.
Right. Yes. Okay, guys. Again, that's jeffgould.net/paranormal. Common side effects. Are you guys watching this series yet?
Not
Oh,
yet.
damn it,
No,
no.
I
I've been-
went past it and went,
Yeah.
that's
I-
that thing that Kelly
Catching up
talked
on
about.
movies and stuff now that things are getting a little more normal for me.
This is so damn good. And my only complaint about it is that it's not live action because it feels like it should be live action. Everything in it is very realistic except for the animation. And then all the drama that's happening in it. Now, there's some very minor comedy, and it's usually in the characters' quirks, but it's a really, really great story, and it's going in places I wasn't expecting, and I just love it. It's, I guess it's on Adult Swim, but then HBO Max has
Yeah.
some kind of deal with them where they show it maybe the next night or something.
Is that Mike Judge?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it is so good. I gotta tell you. Listen, I know I shit all over animation,
You sure do.
but
Sure
this is fantastic. If you're like me and you think I'm not going to watch a cartoon, you're missing out on something great here with common side effects.
How many episodes in are they at this
I
point?
think they're at 8 or 9 now already.
Wow. Okay. So it's
but
coming
they're
up to
they're
the-
short. They're half-hour episodes.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So
Well, sometimes I like watching stuff that makes me cry, and I
Sure.
know it's going to.
Sure.
And I'm like, let's just do this. I just need to like
Yeah.
detox my emotions. So I checked out Toxic Town, which I think is on Netflix. And it's about this British town where a bunch of kids started getting born with deformities, and they were like missing limbs and all kinds. Don't shake your head at me.
why are you so mean to yourself?
I know. It's based on a real story, so it's all
course it
real.
is.
And and basically the town was doing different practices by building in a new industrial complex where they were trudging up all this like sludge from a previous place and not disposing of it correctly, and it was getting into the town somehow and into these women, and then many women in this town had deformed kids, and then they took the town to court over it, and eventually spoiler won. But it's all about that journey, so it's several episodes, and it is
Jesus.
devastating. I cried a lot, but good little story. You're like, way to go.
You know,
Way to go, ladies.
Last episode I referenced Chernobyl. Maybe you should just check that out.
Oh, I've seen it.
Keep your happy streak going. Watch again.
I know. I'm looking for content, That sounds great. Let's just throw in Chernobyl.
I would go with what he was talking about. Maybe next week.
Toxic Town. I can't wait to never watch an episode of that.
I mean, it's cool. It's got that Aaron Brockovich vibe to it. You're like, yeah, fucking take these assholes down. Yeah, screw you guys. You think you can just get away with this shit? No, you can't.
Oh, okay. That approach, that direction.
Yes. No, it's not just depressing. It is like
kids being deformed.
no. I mean, the kids end up, they're fine. They get there.
Oh,
so it's just that they.
So it's a happy ending, is what you're saying. It's a very happy journey.
You got flippers for hands, but it's all good.
Don't quote me on that.
All right, so I went down a little Oscar road. Check out some of the ones I hadn't seen. I figured I'd do the biggie, Anora.
Oh.
I was in a situation where I had to stop watching after about half an hour. I'm going, man, I don't know if I like this movie at all.
Oh no.
The
Is this the
lead
one
guy
with the
is
Russian mobster
Yes.
family and the sex worker?
yes.
Okay.
That guy is a dick
Yeah.
and deeply annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, so the only reason you're falling in love with this shithead is that he's massively wealthy.
Right.
Okay, great. But
Yeah.
I did go back and finish watching it. And as shit goes wrong, it becomes a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
It is a lot funnier than I was expecting. And it gets very entertaining. It's a stretch that Oscar picked this one to win, not because it's not a good movie, but it's like so in a weird place for whatever Oscars are anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was overall it ended up being a pretty entertaining film. And have either of you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
No, I watched the trailer and I was like, okay.
I watched it and I was like, shit, yeah. Let's see what this is.
It gets pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fun, entertaining film.
Yeah.
It does suffer, and maybe this is our generational shit going on, but it seems like people making movies now feel they don't need to make likable characters anymore. They're more real. It's like, well, there's a lot of likable people in the world who have interesting lives you can follow. Yeah. You don't have to be a keeping it real dickhead thing of it just keeping. To me, keeping it real doesn't mean just being an asshole.
Right.
Keeping it real means you say really good things about people too, because that happens a whole hell of a lot less than. Because we've been raised in this reality show thing of keeping it real means being a dickhead.
Right.
And the two leads of this suffer from that a little bit. She gets better as it goes along, but he doesn't. He gets worse.
He gets worse, which is the interesting
Kind of the
twist.
story, but
Yeah. I think
I didn't think it was a twist because I thought he was a dick from scene one. So
I thought he was like
I thought it was just an advancement of him.
I just thought he was young and kind of naive and like,
grew up super wealthy.
But yeah, but like exactly, like he's just being the entitled whatever he is, but he genuinely wants out of his situation and so sees this opportunity, and she also is like, okay, this sounds like a really interesting change to my world.
That's for sure.
But I think it's the other characters that really, of course, like sell this. The thug guy who ends up with so many more layers. You don't think he's going to even have a speaking role in the film.
That guy who's just along as the muscle. With
and then you
really
keep seeing him kind of judge the situation with his eyes a little bit here and there, and you're like, huh. And then you see him a little bit more like saying things here and there, like, why are we doing this? Or like, oh, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad. Mm-hmm. And like that ends up being one of the most interesting characters, because you judge people on this certain layer and then you realize that underneath he's got this completely different complexity going on. And I think with Anora, that's what's interesting about her too, is she has this broad, explosive outer shell, but underneath is like a completely different human that's just trying to survive.
No,
so
by the end, it works really well. But that first half hour is kind of like,
it is tough. It is tough.
I don't
You're
know
like,
about this. I don't know what's going on. But
I mean, I was like kind of mildly fascinated. Like, this is a universe I know nothing about. Both of these. Like, all right, take me on a journey.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
Anora, is that streaming now? Or?
Yeah, it's. I think it. I watched it on Hulu. Tell you, there's good stuff on Hulu.
Fuck Hulu. Goddamn Hulu.
Let's see. What am I going to talk about here? I guess I'll talk about. I'm just about done with Reacher.
Oh yeah, same.
And
I didn't want to watch him have sex with that lady.
She looks like it'd be like cuddling up with a 10-speed bike. She is all
my
joints and bones.
She's awful. Awful. And
He
like
is not.
just
And
her
he is
horrible
not.
accent. And
Her
then she's all
accent is.
girlfriendy with him. And I'm like, don't be girlfriendy with Reacher. Fuck you. If he didn't end up with the first lady, I don't want to see him with anybody else long term. Okay, she was the only good one in my books. So
Well, I'm having a hard. I don't know what it is about this season that it is taking me so long to get to every episode. But then
Yeah.
I watch it and I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. But then even if I'm behind and there's another episode available, I'm like, I don't think I need 2 episodes in a row.
no,
This
same.
one is not grabbing me as much, and I hope I'm not
Yeah.
getting tired of the character. 'Cause
I don't think it's Reacher. I think it's this plot.
Okay.
It's such a mobster, like, oh,
Yeah, but I like all of that kind of stuff, though. It's just it doesn't feel very believable in any
no,
way.
no, it does not.
This
It,
sounds like the little references you get sounds like, because I went on a thing where I was going to read a bunch of Reacher
Yeah.
books and I hit one of them. I was just like, and I haven't gone
I
back.
keep forgetting because it shows what book this is based on. It's a
Yeah.
one-word title, and I can't.
Is it because I hit whatever number that was and it was early, like 3 or 4,
Oh,
and
this
I'm
would
like,
be like the third one, I think. So
I haven't gone back.
I really love him.
Yeah.
he is
Oh my
so
God.
great.
Yeah.
You ever see
Yeah.
Blood Car or Blood? What was it? It was
Blood Drive?
Blood Drive, I think it was, or he was the lead.
Oh
He's the
no.
lead guy in that.
Okay.
It is freaking great.
He's so fucking likable, like
Yeah.
on screen and off screen. All his interviews, he's very
Yeah.
likable, and I think that probably helps. But for some reason, this one is really difficult for me.
Yeah, I'm having the same issue. I'm not like every time a new episode pops up, I'm like, well, I'm obliged to watch this. So I got nothing else going on.
Oh
I got to be
my.
in bed in like 2 hours. So let's chuck it on.
Guess I'll watch this Adonis take off his clothes.
He is the best part by far. I mean, I just love how like he's so smart. That's the best part to me is like somebody will just be
Yeah.
like this dumb dude. And then he's like thought 1,000 steps ahead of everybody. That's
Yeah.
just such a cool character trait. So
Yeah, well, Reacher is on Prime.
gosh. Well, I was going to talk about a comic I'm reading, but I feel like I should talk about Daredevil in the most
yeah.
recent episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched, I think I'm caught up as well.
Yeah. I actually really liked the last episode, and
Yeah.
I didn't have. There was only one editing thing that bugged me the whole time, and I'm very proud of myself for only getting mad once when I was like, when you stood up, it looked like you were going the opposite direction to the direction you went, but that's okay. Other than
I know
that,
the exact what you're talking
yeah,
about.
I was like, why are you walking
Like, what
away?
happened
Oh
there?
wait, I guess you are walking towards it.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I thought they did a good job on that one. So
I like it. I remember it was, I kind of glossed over it. And then when I was editing your comment about Marvel stuff, I'm not done with Marvel. I'm just sort of like averse to we're going to throw every character we've ever had into a movie and see if it works. Because this Daredevil show was it 6-7 years ago? I think it was on.
yeah.
All the people coming back, go, well, yeah, I'm watching that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you're right. It's really solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, another really good episode. So they bring Frank Castle back,
Yeah.
which
Yes.
was nice. But then I read something that said prior to Moorhead and Benson being involved, his appearance shows up way later in the series, and I was
Oh.
like,
Really?
no, we want him back.
Yeah.
Don't make us wait for Punisher.
Yeah.
He is, and the way this story is going, he needs
He
to
needs
be
to
part
be
of it.
there. Yeah.
Because the contrast of the two of them, especially in that thing where it's maybe we're not as different as you think,
Yeah.
or maybe you
Yeah.
want it a bit. It's just like fuck, that was a great.
That was a
good
great
scene.
scene. Great dialogue in there. And then just watching those two actors, I'm like, boy, these guys have really embodied their characters.
Yeah.
You know, I don't
Yeah.
think I could think of anybody else playing the Punisher again.
No, I see the actor who plays Daredevil around, and
Yeah.
he kind of looks like he's blind. Yeah, he does that so well that it's kind of his natural look, intentionally or not. Going, hey, you look like. And from a filmmaker thinking, storytelling piece, that end shot with him and the Kingpin juxtaposed, realizing okay, they really still are the people they've always been.
Yeah.
It's like, because that Kingpin thing was dark.
That
I
one-
knew it was going to be that. Who didn't see that coming? I
Oh,
was
well,
like,
I thought the guy was dead. I didn't
Yeah, I
realize
didn't
he's
think-
keeping him
I
prisoner.
figured he just killed
That
him.
is dark.
I was like, look, and it's his special like Vanessa painting, and it's got the dude's blood on it or whatever, like chef's kiss.
Yeah, good stuff.
Oh, that's me. As I mentioned, the Oscar world, I watched another one, highly recommended by freaking everybody, and Flow,
Yeah.
and well recommended by
Yeah.
everybody.
What a lovely film.
It is wild, especially knowing the making of. And it shows, you can tell this was not a $50,000 computer making these characters. This was a basic computer, but the backgrounds are
Yeah.
spectacular looking.
Yeah.
And the characters do everything they need to do. They don't need to look like a perfect Mufasa Disney computer generated thing. They look more real and more interesting, being just a little fidgety at times and stuff, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
I read a weird thing that it has actually contributed to the adopting of all black cats.
Aww.
Yes, people, all black cats are just like other cats. They're all great.
Black cats are awesome.
But
Except they're magic.
Magic in my heart.
and the depth it goes to at times with like the scene of him running up the tower things or whatever those were in the water, just incredibly good.
Yeah.
The winner of the every once in a while something, Pixar. It's not Pixar. It's not Disney. If it's not either one of those two, it's probably something truly spectacular. And yep, definitely. If you haven't seen it yet, there's a reason they built a statue in what was the country this was made in? The native country it was made in. They built a statue to this cat already.
Oh, wow.
Damn right. Is it Latvia?
That sounds
Is that
right.
going to be the statue of the cat that he climbs up on
Yeah,
when the
Latvia.
water
Oh my God,
rises?
the big
Yeah,
statue.
wouldn't that be awesome?
Just like overseeing the whole thing. Oh my God.
So the thing that's so interesting to me about this, I saw this and I loved it. But the unspoken backstory is that some kind of apocalypse has happened.
Yeah.
That there are no
Yeah.
humans because the cat is going back to its old home.
Yeah.
There's artistic renderings of the cat inside it and everything, but the person is gone and there are no people in this.
Yeah.
yeah.
So very strange. And then, like you had mentioned, I think that something apocalyptic had happened before this
Yes.
flood, because before this flood, we're already seeing trees with boats and shit in it.
Yes, exactly. You can see like water damage on the
Yeah.
house the cat's in and stuff too. So it's happened before and it's happening in waves. But
Yeah.
no, and I think it's neat that you can't know because you're seeing it through the perspective of these animals. So there's no way they're going to be able to tell you what has happened and
And they don't cheat by tossing something in the background that would
like tell you
totally
what
tell
happened.
us what's going on. They
Right.
it is what it is. And the moments of peril are so well done. It's like, oh, God, got to get back to the boat.
I know. I'm like, that poor cat is going to drown all the time. Did you watch it with volume on and did your cats respond to this movie?
So no.
Dang it. It's apparently a big love of a lot of cats.
Wow.
Yeah. They were,
I may have to, just put that on and let
I would just
play
put it
to
on and see what they do. Yeah. I definitely, my cats were definitely kind of getting up, looking, going, who are
the
you?
fuck is that?
What's going on over here? All right.
Well, yeah, they did use real animal noises for all the animals. So
And I thought it was hilarious. I can never remember exactly what they're called. That dog, the Shibu
Shibu
Ima.
Ima. That one's the asshole one.
That was
Yeah.
and they are real asshole dogs. I mean,
They're the worst.
oh, really?
Yeah, they
So
they're not
stupid.
they're not friendly like other dogs. Like they don't, they're not happy to see you and
Oh,
come over
wild.
and shit like that. So when they made him the asshole, I was like, yes, Good.
Well done. Well done. So good casting.
I like that.
Cool. Well, yeah, that's available now for free.
Max.
Oh, cool. I might watch that again. I liked it so much.
No.
And that was called Flow. So, guys, why don't we take a little break, and then when we come back, we are talking about a subgenre that Micah picked for us.
Welcome back to Super Bowl 57. So far, Greg, the game going like you expected?
Yeah, and so far, these teams, they've really...
And we're back. Okay, Eric, we have decided that you're going to start this off. Why don't you tell us what we're doing and talking about?
Well, you got a guy, Micah, who was a little hint at how I thought about my film. It's sort of made up for suggesting we watch the G.I. Joe animated movie.
Aw.
The idea was he sent us all a nice little contribution to the ongoing needs of Strange Eons Radio. And in return, he suggested he specifically gave each of us movies to watch from Tubi, meaning they're probably a little more obscure, they're probably a little unusual, and that was where we launched. So we each took our films, and here we go.
All right. Well, how about I have you start us off? I'm giving you 5 minutes.
All righty. Mine was 1965, The 10th Victim.
Dopo la fine della Quarta Guerra Mondiale, o della Sesta, secondo la cronologia degli storici, la potenza e la capacità di sterminio delle armi nucleari era aumentata. Ormai era stato raggiunto il punto di saturazione. La pace quindi doveva durare per sempre. Ma gli uomini non sono angeli, sono soltanto degli esseri molto strani, forniti di combattività. L'unica soluzione era di incanalare la violenza dell'uomo. Così l'assassinio fu legalizzato su basi strettamente individuali e solo per coloro che lo richiedevano. Vittime e cacciatori. Fu così che nacque l'istituto della grande caccia. La guerra era tornata là dove era nata, nelle mani degli individui. E per ogni individuo il traguardo più ambito era la 10ª vittima.
And I immediately hit a snag.
Oh, no.
I went to Tubi, and it said no longer available on this platform.
Oh my God. No,
But
the Tubi episode.
I did get the full Tubi experience by finding it on Plex with commercials. So
Excellent.
close enough. This is directed by Elio Petre, who also directed A Quiet Place in the Country, We Still Kill the Old Way, and Investigations of a Citizen Above Suspicion. I also wrote this and all the movies, most of the movies he directed. Robert Shockley also was the writer of the original book, which was called The Seventh Victim. They changed the name because there's already at the time. There's a previous film called Seventh Victim. They changed it to 10. Also writing on this film, Antonio Giro, Giorgio Salvini, Ennio Flaiano, Ernesto Gastaldo. So whole shitload of writers for this film.
Wow.
Actors Marcello Mastroianni, who is on a different version of The Beekeeper, and 8.5, The Dolce Vita, very pedigree actor, and the very famous Ursula Andress. It's her. Yeah, right there.
Are you guys hearing it vibrating? Is that just me?
It's just you. I'm just hearing the ticking.
All right. Hey, enjoying some special new underwear.
Oh my God.
Anyways, and which ties into Ursula Andress, I guess. She was on 2 episodes of The Love Boat, the 1981 Clash of Titans, and the Casino Royale as Vesper.
That's right.
And another fairly famous appearance in a James Bond film. This is a familiar sounding film for modern audiences, but very original at the time. It's the 21st century and legalized violence is occurring. There's a big hunt. The big hunt has 4 or 5 rules. Each member undertakes 10 hunts, 5 as hunter, 5 as a victim. They're paired up by computer. Hunters get all the info they need on the victims. Victims get no information on the hunters. The victim does the hunting once, but once they know who the hunter is, they can legally kill the hunter. Rule 4, the winner wins the money of $1 million, which translates to about $10 million in modern money. So it's a big payday. Movie jumps right into the action with a fantastic scene of a hunter and a victim, neither of which are the leads. They're just giving you an idea what this movie's going to be about. Which then moves into the most famous scene from the movie. And you might think of a movie this scene probably influenced, and you'd be correct. Sort of a strip fashion show event, kind of, with Ursula dancing around and finds her target is at this event. So she goes up to the target, starts dancing a little bit, and shoots him through her bra.
Oh, goodness.
This apparently was the most famous and mentioned movie scene in all the reviews and all the stuff about this film. And obviously made a little Austin Powers, Mike Myers influence. And then they move to a very nice killing of a man who's dressed up as an SS member, where they blow him up.
Excellent.
All right. The idea is that this game has replaced war. But irony is not entirely lost on this film. A scene where a guy comes up and kills one of his hunties, and the police officer looks, oh man, your car's illegally parked. Here's a ticket for that. I'm going to say this is a damn good film, Micah. This is well recommended. It's got some strange, surreal elements the way it's coming into the late 60s here. Like the 2 of the leads, the lead hunter, the 10th victim, and her hunter, who at this time, she knows who he is, but he does not know who she is. And they're talking, and behind them are these 2 raised platforms, each with a saxophone player on it. One of them kneeling down playing the saxophone, the other guy laying backwards on the thing with his head over the back playing the saxophone, just on this building with them. There's this giant scene that's sort of like James Bond-esque with a Q sort of thing going on that happens in the middle of it. Ursula, the idea is Ursula, for the 10th victim, she needs to get him to this one specific place in Italy so the television cameras can capture it and they can sell ads to make a lot more money. Shocking, huh? It's a great, entertaining film. It's a lot of fun to watch because it's weird. It does get 60s boring sometimes, just the pacing is weird, especially since an Italian film production with English and French. Let's see any interesting facts here. Obviously, this is one of the first films to do the reality show death thing, which was done frequently with like Battle Royale, Series 7, Hunger Games, all following suit. Set in the year 2079, so we still haven't reached it.
One day.
That's nice. Kim Novak auditioned for the lead. Anne Margaret was cast, but then had to back out, so they ended up with Ursula. Aunt Margaret would have been an interesting choice in this. And Michael Myers references this as one of his biggest influence for the Austin Powers, was what goes on in this film. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. I haven't done it yet, but I was going to look up. I would not be a bit surprised to see this on Criterion or somebody like that. I mean, it's not a great movie, but it's unique and different enough that it could be celebrated by somebody like Criterion.
Criterion or Vinegar Syndrome?
Oh, definitely Criterion or
really?
Severin or something like that.
Wow. Okay.
It's not a goofy film. It's a pretty interesting, well-made movie.
Okay.
Man, I want to watch this.
Yeah, it's definitely not a so bad it's good kind of thing.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Very cool.
Okay, Vanessa, you want to go next?
Yeah. So Micah challenged me with a very special movie called Making Contact from 1985.
Over here. Look.
Growing up can be hell, especially when you're different. When you're helpless.
Mommy, look out!
And alone. But now, Joey's the man of the house and is under attack.
Watch out!
By supernatural forces. He can't understand. But Joey won't be helpless for long. Because Joey's not alone anymore. Making Contact, an out-of-this-world adventure.
I have, in fact, seen this movie once before because this is a very early Roland Emmerich joint.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Nice pick there.
When he was living in Germany. I actually already had it on DVD, but I did watch it on Tubi for the full experience. Roland Emmerich, of course, has 26 credits, including what we recently talked about, 2012. Also Independence Day, Day After Tomorrow, Godzilla, Stargate, White House Down, Patriot, Universal Soldier. It was co-written by Hans J. Haller. Doesn't really have other credits, and Thomas Lechner does not have any other credits. Starring Joshua Morell, who has no other credits. This was definitely done with favors and by bootstraps in Germany. Although the budget actually isn't terrible. It's 1.5 million. So it's not like a student film, but it's not like a big blockbuster film. So the story is insane. A boy's father dies and he has a hard time accepting it. We see him sort of talking to a photograph of him, just not being able to really feel okay to move on. And then all of a sudden his toys come alive, much like, I don't know, Poltergeist or Close Encounters of the Last Kind.
I was thinking Toy Story, so no, not like that. Okay.
Yeah. Then his red phone rings, his red plastic phone, and he answers it, and it's his dad. So he starts talking to his dad, and he starts having this like frequent conversation with his dad. And at the same time, he also develops telekinetic powers. He seems to be able to move things with his mind.
Wow. Is this a horror movie? It sounds scary.
In parts, I guess. Yes, kind of. Is it an adventure? Is it a kids movie? Is it a horror? Who's to say?
You.
Not me. I'm not going to make that decision. So anyway, his dad is helping him, he says, kind of move things with his mind, but it seems like he's really doing it. It feels very fire startery in some ways. But anyway, then there's also this dummy that comes to life out of this like old shack that's up on the hill, and I thought it was on their property, but maybe it's not. It's the old Psycho house, but it's an old shack in the back of their yard with a bunch of abandoned cars out. You're supposed to believe it's just some Nope. That's the fucking house, dude. Okay. But anyways, it's fine. There's a dummy in there. He comes alive and he starts telling Joey that the phone is actually an evil ventriloquist who had been messing with him when he was younger, the puppet. So anyway, his mom and teacher, the boy's mom and teacher, want to understand more of what's going on with this kid's telekinesis because he doesn't hide it at all. And a bunch of university researchers invade his house and basically set up shop, much like E.T. Meanwhile, a bunch of bullies from his school have decided to take him down. They create a plan while in the psycho house, and the dummy gets wind of it, turns the house into a labyrinth of nightmares, trapping them inside. Joey, along with his friend, go to rescue them for some reason. While in there, he and the boys must battle their worst fears. And finally, Joey meets the ghost of the ventriloquist who tells him that they share the same psychic link. And through the ventriloquist's link, when he was alive, he let in an evil spirit that now inhabits the dummy that we thought was evil the whole time. He must not show this dummy any fear. He doesn't. So a door opens into heaven and he goes so he can talk to his dad and he dies.
The fuck?
Everyone panics.
God
and
damn.
they bring back his body and he's in a coma, but also then dies. And then lights start coming on and toys start moving around and he's back to life. And we end on a freeze frame of him looking kind of confused in a bed. So, making contact.
Wow.
I will say this film is better than I remembered. I thought it was going to be unwatchable the second time because the first time it was like, what the fuck is happening? What is this
Why
dummy?
do I like this director?
No, you're like, man, you made strides. It is a mix, of course, of Close Encounters, Poltergeist, E.T. Seriously, Lucas could sue the pants off them and win. There's literally Darth Vader comes to life at one point and walks around with, there is Star Wars paraphernalia everywhere, flying ships on the sheets, everything. Fuck, man. It's so heavily inspired by Spielberg. The music is very much like it. The one thing I will say that I hate about this film, the set design is out of fucking control. It is just filled with junk everywhere. This house has too many lamps. At one point, there is a shot where, no joke, I counted 8 lamps in shot, not like overheads, like just lamps in places. There's like a goldfish tank just on the side for no reason. There's a bottle of ketchup on a shelf. His room has like the most random American shit in it, including like radio like stickers and like just weird. And he's got like Sesame Street stuff, but also Star Wars stuff. I'm like, how old are you? The set designer made this into a hoarder's delight. Oh, like every shot, you're like, I don't know what's wrong with this family, but if I came here, I'd be like, they are crazy. The dubbing's also pretty far off. You can tell it was dubbed into English. Just a couple of quick trivia things because I'm sorry, it's just so fascinating. Although the bulk of the film was shot in Germany, writer-director Roland Emmerich set it in the United States and shot it in English so that the film could be marketed worldwide. The director came to Stuttgart Elementary and Junior High School on Robinson Barracks in Stuttgart, Germany in the spring of 1984 to select American kids to be in the movie starting that summer. The lead role and many of the friends in the movie were selected from that school, not just the bit parts. He also employed children of soldiers in the local U.S. Army base for bit parts. The scene where Joey is looking for his dog Charlie in the abandoned mansion it is set in the Bates Mansion house from the 1960s horror thriller Psycho. So it is literally the same house. So basically, Roland Emmerich said, I want to make entertaining movies for a broad audience. Germany needs a film industry again. Making artsy movies may be nice for the ego, but will not feed an industry. Entertaining the masses is the foundation, and that has been neglected here for a long time. People like Spielberg and Lucas are showing the way. We shouldn't we go in the same direction? We can do it too, and we can do it cheaper. And he sure did. He built his own effects studio in an abandoned factory instead of using a slightly more expensive one down the road. So that delayed his overall production. And he did end up scrapping most of the effects and redoing them again. So that is
Wow.
Making Contact.
What year is this from?
1985.
85. Okay. And he shot it in English and then dubbed it again?
There is a weird dubbing effect. It is shot in English, but you can tell like there's like a delay and it's not quite it seems, I mean, it feels very dubbed. So I don't know quite what happened there.
I recognize the poster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From like a video store or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
did never
remember that
watch
too,
it.
but I did not realize that's what this was about.
It's bonkers. It's fucking bonkers. I don't think this film knows what it's about, but you know, America, go America is what this film is about. It is such a love letter to like, fuck, I don't know. It's American. Put it in the house. Seems cool. What do kids do? They put little, you know, at dinner time, we definitely Americans have like a little basket with bread rolls inside with like the little thing on top to keep it warm. That's not just German. That's American too. Definitely, for sure. It's cool.
Right. Spam.
Yeah, we keep our condiments always out on our like living room shelf. That's where I like to put them. It's fucking weird.
I love that he was like, we need to bring film making back to Germany, and then immediately goes to Hollywood to make all his movies.
Never
He
mind.
obviously was like, you know
Sorry,
what?
What's
Fuck
your
it.
budget? I'm there.
Yeah, he was like, I could just be there. I just want to be there instead. So
All right. Okay. Making Contact. Okay. I'm giving myself 5 minutes, and I am talking about from 1985, Pray for Death.
He came to America to escape his past.
You will always be a ninja.
Now, his wife. His children. His home and his honor must be defended.
If you just want protection, why don't you go hire yourself a private detective?
No ordinary man could do it alone. But this is no ordinary man. Pray for death.
This has gone far enough.
If we are all free to do what we like, I am free to kill those animals.
Shokasugi. Shatawari. Ninja, judge, and jury. Vengeance will be his. Pray for death.
Please, kill me!
Directed by Gordon Hessler, who has 48 credits, including Murders in the Rue Morgue, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Written by James Booth, who has 6 credits, including Avenging Force, American Ninja 2, The Confrontation, and American Ninja 4, The Annihilation. I want you to remember that name. It was written by James Booth. Starring Sho Kosugi, who has 19 credits, including Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, Ninja 3, The Domination, 9 Dents of the Ninja, Ninja Assassin.
Oh, my God.
And The Bad News Bears Go to Japan.
Excellent.
Second lead in this film is James Booth.
Oh.
Who has 79 credits, including Zorro the Gay Blade. He's the guy with the eye patch.
Nice.
Avenging Force, American Ninja 4, The Annihilation, and 5 episodes of Twin Peaks. And also in this is Norman Burton, a very familiar character actor. 91 credits, including Fade to Black, which was famously put in my freezer.
Sure was.
Bloodsport, and American Ninja 5. Eric, I know you've seen Pray for Death.
Yes, it's been a long time, but
Well,
I know
I
I've
had seen it before too, and I remember liking it. So when I was assigned this by Micah, I was like, no problem.
Yeah.
So
ninja movie?
Yeah. I assume that's why he assigned me a ninja movie, is that I love ninjas. The film starts with a pretty hokey ninja versus ninja scene, but it then pulls back to reveal that what we are seeing is actually a ninja movie the two young Japanese boys are watching. They are the sons of Akira and Aiko, a Japanese couple who are making the decision to emigrate from Japan to the U.S. They have a dream of opening a restaurant called Aiko's Japanese Restaurant.
Beautiful.
It's a little on the nose. But
That's some good writing by Booth.
Yep. What his family doesn't know, though, is that Akira is, in fact, a highly skilled ninja who has retired after he had to fight his brother to the death when his brother tried to steal from the ninja temple.
Oh.
This bothered him so much that he quit being a ninja and was forced by his sensei to promise never to reveal the secrets of the ninja. He then gives him a sacred ninja helmet as a gift and reminds him that he can never leave his shadows behind. I was like, okay, this is very confusing messaging, but... Once in America, Akira and his family meet with Sam Green, an old man who is selling them the building that will become their new restaurant and home. And guys, this place is in a pretty shady part of town. Unbeknownst to them, but knownst to us, is that the vacant building has been used by corrupt cops to hide the nearly priceless Van Atta necklace for the mobster they're working for. But the cops have double-crossed the mobster and taken the necklace for themselves. So when the mobster goons show up to find the necklace gone, and Sam Green, the old man, moving all of his stuff out, they assume the old man has the necklace and kill him. When they don't find the necklace, they now assume that the new Japanese family has it, and they kidnap one of Akira's boys and try to make Akira trade him for the necklace.
Jeez.
Well, this goes as well as you think it will. And even though Akira has gone to the police and the mobsters now think he doesn't have the necklace either, they decide they've got to kill the entire family because they know too much. They do manage to run down his wife and son in the street outside the restaurant, but they are still alive and rushed to the hospital. Akira then goes to the mobsters as a ninja and tells them to leave Akira and his family alone or they will pray for death. And then he disappears. Well, he should have just started killing them all right then because they sneak into the hospital and actually kill his wife.
Oh, shit.
So that brings us to the third act, which is just a ninja bloodbath as Akira takes his revenge on all of the mobsters. This is actually a fairly decent action flick. I saw it when it first came out on video in 1986 or something.
Great cover.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the very classic cover of the ninja stance and then a ninja in the background and like throwing stars all around and all that. Anyway, trivia. When the film was showcased at the Cannes Film Festival, it had a runtime of 123 minutes and was unrated, following an X rating from the Motion Picture Association. The film was edited down to 92 minutes and awarded an R rating. So there's a cutout there with a half hour of ninja action that was deemed too violent.
Oh, no.
Akira's sons are actually played by the actor's two sons, Kane and Shane Kosugi, and their names in the film are Takeshi and Tomoya, which are the boys' middle names in real life.
Oh, that's nice.
The film was a modest hit at the box office, bringing in $9.5 million against a $5 million budget. There was supposed to be a sequel, but it never happened, although if you watch all of Sho Kosugi's movies, they feel like they're all the same series anyway, so I kind of didn't realize that they weren't a sequel. And then finally, the nearly priceless Van Atta necklace is a reference to Don Van Atta, who is the producer of the film.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah.
He gave us money.
Here's the necklace.
Much as Micah did, and we are now doing this episode in honor of him.
There you go. Yes,
Truly excellent.
It was well picked, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that everybody had a good time with him.
Yeah.
I was amused not by the review itself, but I pull up the movies when you guys are talking about it, just in case we speed bump ourselves at some point.
Right.
And some guy's review was IMDb 6 out of 10, and his headline is 3 out of 5. Like, what?
For my movie? For your movie?
For yours.
Oh.
Okay, sure.
Well, he knows his fractions.
That's right. He knows what he's doing there. He did mathematically hit that.
Oh my God.
Okay, guys, that means that it is now my choice.
Yes.
For a subgenre.
So exciting.
And I am thinking, how do you guys feel about atomic monsters?
You and your atomic monsters.
Some kind of creature feature where radiation is the cause.
Yeah, no, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. Kind of a revisit, which is great. I love revisits.
Listen,
giant monster movies.
I've got a very limited amount of types of films I know.
I just typed out 317 for the number of his issues. I'd say for the number of revisits we have, pretty good ratio.
Hey, I just revisited Disaster, so it's fine.
Listen, it was either this or Ghosts.
That's exactly what that might be my next pick.
Oh my God.
Because of Joffrey's
I think
story.
even our listeners at this point will not remember us having done that before, so it's fine.
But then Micah here will release our list, and people will go, you already talked about that in episode 125.
Oh my God, I hope we have nerdy
That would be
listeners that
great.
just fucking argue about stuff.
I would not have a problem with that. So radioactive creatures?
Yeah, or atomic monsters.
Atomic monster.
I like
Atomic's a
term.
better term for it. Yeah.
It's cleaner.
It sounds more 50s.
That's what we're talking about. Okay, you guys, this is the part where we say thanks to everybody, especially somebody like Micah, who threw a ton of money at us and asked us to do this. He also took all of the thought out of it. So he just assigned us movies, and I was like, this is perfect.
This is very nice.
Whether I like this movie or not, I have to watch it.
There you go. I can deal with that.
You can do that. We call that value for value. We have a bunch of different ways you can donate money.
PayPal, coffee, all on our website.
Right, bad checks, loose change, everything. You can also reach out to us on the Strange Eons radio hotline, which is 253-237-4266. You can leave us a message, or you can text us on this. I keep forgetting to text something. I was going to drunk text us the other night.
No.
Just be like, I still love you.
It's 3 a.m. Who wants to come over?
And then you can find us on Facebook on the Strange Eons Radio talk page. I've been off Facebook now for a couple of weeks, and I kind of like it. So I don't know how often I will be back on there, but it's good for the soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you guys should stay on Facebook and go to our talk page.
Right. Absolutely.
Don't subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell your friends. Yeah. Even if they don't listen, go subscribe to these guys' YouTube channel.
Right. Okay, guys, that's it. I want you out of my house. We're going to be back in 7 short days when we are talking atomic monsters. See you next Thursday. Transportation and other considerations for Strange Eons Radio produced by Pan Am Airlines. When you think of traveling, think of Pan Am. You can't beat the experience. Guests of Strange Eons Radio stay at Econo Lodge Everett. It's an easy stop on the road, you know what we mean. Strange Eons Radio is recorded live in front of a studio audience. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider leaving us a positive review on your favorite podcast app. Sit, Ubu, sit.
And there was only one editing thing that bugged me the whole time, and I'm very proud of myself for only getting mad once